Hey Olivia. So today traded two stocks. The first one was AIM. Um, it was setting up before market open. Um, Made a move back up towards the VWAP here around 9:10. I liked that it was struggling to break through, and then when it finally did break through, it had a good rejection, high red volume. So I got it at entry as it was breaking new lows after breaking the VWAP. I didn't really want to add before market open because there wasn't really a great add spot in here, and I definitely didn't want to add right into the open, but it dropped pretty quick, and I went ahead and took some profit. 225 was a little before my goal, but um, for that short of a trade, I went ahead and locked in some profit. Although I was only in half of my ideal position size, um, I still went ahead and locked in some profit. So a little bit later, the screen volume wasn't too impressive, and I entered at the beginning of this candle as I thought it was continuing to break down after this red candle and the low of this candle. It popped up pretty quickly, but respected this ascending support line that it was retesting and this daily level. And I added as it was breaking through the low of some of these candles. I think on the 5-minute, may have broken a candle on the 5-minute too, and I added. Wasn't quite to my goal, but I think my goal was just on the other side of this daily level. So I went ahead and locked in half. Gave it a little bit longer. I didn't really want to add again because so far it was some good trades, and I was pretty close to just wanting to call it a day. At least on that trade, anyhow. I think my goal was like 208, so in hindsight, probably should have gone ahead and covered on that next push here, but I think it was around 10:30. I just was kind of done, and I went ahead and pulled the rest out as it seemed like it was going to start maybe curling back up again. Had I waited a little bit longer, though, there was another good drop. And that's what it did the rest of the day. Alright, so the next stock was NK. Unfortunately, I don't think I would have taken this trade, but since I had gone on and reserved some shares earlier in the morning, running off the morning's high, I thought maybe we could find something in this stock. It was a much bigger float, and it was slowly grinding up from the VWAP, but I was thinking at this daily level here, and after a pretty solid push, I think this was 6 or 7 green candles on a 5-minute. I thought it was due for a pullback, but I got an entry here. I like this big red volume as it seemed to come off the high. Got this entry maybe a little soon, but I thought that red volume was coming in. I thought it would break the low here. Which did end up doing, but it held support pretty good at that 1367. There seemed to be a decent amount of sellers here, right at 14, so I added, but it ended up breaking that level. I think my stop was up in 1460s. I was watching it hold 1450. Thought maybe it was coming back down, but as it headed back into the highs, I covered, and it ended up going up some more. I was a little nervous about this play because it did have this big window here, but the curl into these levels of resistance wasn't enough to really find another entry yet. I think now it was breaking into the highs. I was getting some decent red volume. I probably should have made a trade up in this area, but after this move, that would have been a little too aggressive. But I thought maybe after this bounce off the VWAP, we'd see some follow through. So I grabbed a starter here, but quick stopped out as it broke 1650. And of course had a quick rejection off that level, but it didn't really follow through anyways. Here's a good example of breaking rules. I had 2 stop outs already and went in on another aggressive position here. And ended up getting stopped out one more time. And my stop was at 1650, but had some slippage up into the 1670s. So a pretty decent amount of slippage. Luckily it wasn't a full position, but definitely disappointed to end the day that way after such a good morning, but that's what it ended up doing. So I gave back the morning's profit plus a little bit, so I think I ended up just barely in the red, but after being up so much in the morning, I was definitely disappointed in myself. But it happens, and at least it wasn't too bad, too much damage. So, alright, I'll see you tomorrow.